I made it to book 3 in December, the month that I started reading these. I will say that these books have reminded me of another series that I read this year. Hey everyone, my name's Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I wanted to talk to you about Blood Bonds by Bree, which is book 3 in the Bonds That Tie series. Oh, we made it to book 3. We made it to book 3. I don't even know what to say about this book. There's one thing that is like sticking out to me that I just want to yell at the camera. I'm not going to say it until I go through like the normal stuff because it's a huge spoiler and I do not want to spoil it. So book 3 is obviously going to pick up right where book 2 left off. Giving you a synopsis would ruin what happened in book 2 if anybody is stumbling upon this. We start off with Oleander and Kieran being in the midst of the resistance camp, finding out that Atlas's father is there at the camp and heavily involved with the resistance. In this book, there are trigger warnings. This book started to get pretty dark, okay? There are scenes that depict gore and death. There are scenes that depict torture while a person is awake, while they're not awake. So there's a lot to know going into this book that I mildly expected based on the progression of the story, but it was slightly shocking that it was like very there in the book. So I want to warn you, if you are continuing with this series, there may be triggers that are a little gruesome. I stuck with 4 stars for this book. All 3 of them have been 4 stars for me so far. I have enjoyed continuing the series, but it's starting to remind me of Savage Lands. What I mean by that is we're kind of getting the same pattern over and over again. We are doing fine. We get captured by the resistance. We get saved. Then we're doing fine. Then we get captured by the resistance. Then we get saved. Then we're doing fine. Then the resistance attacks. Like it's the same kind of thing over and over again. And I really hope it doesn't start to feel too repetitive. There have been little nuances and things that have happened that have made it feel a little different at times. But to be honest with you, I was sitting here trying to rack my brain going, wait a second, for the synopsis, should I say something that happened in this one or did that happen in the last one? What was different about this one? Like I was having a little bit of trouble trying to give you a synopsis, which is why I just started with where the book started off. But I still really enjoy it. I still am invested in reading it. I'm still invested in the characters. I still really like the series. I just am so afraid of it becoming too repetitive. Other people I've talked to who have finished the series has said that this series is really, really good and they have read the whole thing and been really happy with it. So I'm still invested in keeping with it. I also need to find out what friggin' happens with the bonds. Spice rating on this one, though, did kick up to a 4 on my scale, which means that there was more than one partner involved in at least one of the scenes. What's interesting, though, is like while the book was told to me that it's like super spicy, it does seem like some of the spice is toned down in some places and then ramped up in others. It's kind of inconsistent the way that it's written. Like there are quite a few fade to black scenes, which is interesting in a reverse harem book that was said to be super spicy. Because of the content, like if you know my spice rating, I have a whole video on it if you don't know it. If you know my spice rating, 4 means that it is elevated in a more than one person or specific style of spice way. And so that is why it is up to a 4. I know there are some things like I'm going to have this marked as all spoilery because it is a book 3. Like it's just going to have spoilers in it for books 1 and 2. But here is the spoiler. Here is the big spoiler. I fucking called it. I knew from the very first book that Sage was bad. I knew it. And having that dropped on the last fucking page, I was like, thank God I wasn't crazy. I picked up on this. Why did she walk up to Oli in the very first book and be like, hi, we're friends now? Like, there was something not right about that. And I think Oleander was way too trusting, but it is interesting though, that like her bond is supposed to protect her and not feel right in bad situations. And so why didn't it react to Sage? Why did it let Sage get close to her if Sage is working for the resistance and letting the resistance in? Like, something is not making sense here. And I don't know, I haven't started the 4th book yet. So I don't know if it's going to be like a misunderstanding and everything's going to be fine, which would be kind of shitty because I feel like when there's too quick of a resolution, as I kind of described when like, oh, we get saved and then we're fine and then we're back and then we get saved. You know, when the resolution is too quick, it starts to get boring. And so I really hope that we don't just go, it was a misunderstanding, Sage is fine. Like, I want some juice there. And I predicted the juice from the very beginning of this book, of this series. So when I read that last page, I was like, yes, finally, I wasn't crazy. I also feel like I want more character progression and like more depth with North. I really want to learn more about him. I still feel like he has a wall up, and I know Knox has a wall up. There's got to be reason having to do with like his mom and all of that has his wall up. We like North. We bonded with North, but I want to get to know him more. I know I'm going to love him, but I need to see it. I need to be shown why I love him. Despite all of this stuff going on with Atlas and knowing that like his family is in the resistance, but he doesn't choose to be in, and he's all in for Oleander. Like, I still don't trust him. I still don't like him. He is the bond that I like the least. And now that they're bonded, I'm like, can he betray her? Like, is that even possible anymore? I don't know, but I still just don't trust him. I am curious to see where the next one's going to go. Like I said, I really hope it's not just like, oh, everything's fine, let's move on. I really hope it's not that way. And I really hope we don't just continue with this like back and forth resistance attacks. We fix it. Resistance attacks. We fix it. We get taken. This series is available on Kindle Unlimited. That's how I'm reading it. But I will put a link down in the description below for the physical copies. Hopefully you're reading along with me. Hopefully you are enjoying yourself, enjoying the books. Who's your favorite Bond? I gotta know. Who do you like? Tell me. Leave me a comment. Thanks for coming to chat about book 3 of the Bonds That Tie series. And don't forget, you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Fun Size Reader. See you guys next time.